Stop. Um, Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Mr. Ledger himself of the Diary of the Ledger of Aspiring Speaker. Thank you so much, all those that are going to come and interact with this video. Thank you for the support. Now, the question that I often get asked is, how does one choose what to do and what to expend their energies and efforts on? There are many things that will be exposed to, and there are things that we want to do in life. The question then comes is, how do we channel our energies towards a certain area, and how do we probably only visit a certain area whenever time allows us to? And I have developed in my mind a framework that helps us to make those informed choices, what we can probably do. But to dig deeper into this framework, I'm just going to share a story when I was still pursuing some studies. I remember when I was still at school, I was very good in a number of subjects, but there were some subjects that I very much liked than more than the others. And there were some subjects that I was extremely good at, but I did not really love. And there were some that I hated, but I was very some that I hated, but I was also very bad at them. And in most instances, I would be creative, and whenever I had time, I would always want to practice those subjects that I knew I was very competent in, and also my passion was around those subjects. Every time when I would do something, it was effortlessly. Things would just flow smoothly. I would find some different ways of handling that problem. And fast forward to when I was at tertiary, now I'm studying accounting, and I'm a chartered accountant. So I'm studying accounting. There were areas within the field of accounting that I was very good at, but I did not love them. Things like taxation, things like financial accounting. While on the other hand, I was extremely passionate about managerial finance. I was extremely in love with investment management, financial management, and even business management. But I hated the others. I loved economics, but I was not so good in economics. And then when I started working, my first job, it was my first accounting related job was in the financial accounting section. Because I had already hated when I was still at school, even at work, I wasn't so much passionate and so much innovative around that field of work. Then I realized that every time there was to be any technical accounting problem, whilst I would easily understand it, but I did not feel the need to tackle it. While on the other hand, if there was anything in the field of business partnering, business controlling, managerial accounting, or something to do with corporate finance, I would feel the passion, the energy, the zeal. I mean, I would be alive while just solving those things. And in most instances, I would come up with ideas, different ways of doing those things that I had some love for. And then this led me to think of this competence passion framework. this competence passion framework that I have in my mind, I know maybe most of you are familiar with. It's a four quadrant framework where on the one end, it is the competency that one has in a specific area where it hovers from high to low, and also with regards to passion, where you've got high passion or low passion. And you'd see that probably there is a quadrant where somebody might have low passion and low competence. If you have low passion for something and low competence, you decide demotivated, you will not find creative ways of doing it, and you are still going to fail hard on that thing. So that is the low passion and low competence. At the same time, within the same scale about passion, you can find somebody with a high passion for something or low competence. Let's say I've seen some people who say they want to be musicians. Maybe they've got some musical instruments at home. They always like to play the piano, to play the guitar, because they are passionate about this. It actually it takes them to dreamland. It makes them escape the problems of their life. So they are always dreaming about being these accomplished guitarists and those kind of things, but they cannot even hit the notes that they need to hit. So their competence is pathetic, but their passion is amazing. So now the thing is, what do they need to do around that aspect? What you could possibly do is you might treat that as a hobby. It's a hobby because hobbies simply stimulate us to feel good about ourselves, but they are unlikely to generate any value or sustainable revenue because we are not good in that aspect. And then um, on the on the other side of the spectrum, it, it is where we've got high competence but low passion. I think the majority of the people usually they find themselves falling into this quadrant. High competence, low passion. Yes, you will do something extremely well, but you hate it. Most of the jobs that we are doing today, most of us developed the skills, or we do have the skills to execute them, but we don't love those jobs. I mean, I'm not counted in that number, right? So people are highly competent in a specific field, but they don't have the energy, they don't have the passion, they suck at it. But what they do is they're simply doing it because probably it is the only available in the marketplace. The market can only offer you the things that you are able to do, but probably don't love them. So now, what advice would then I give to somebody that seems to be to be stuck in that rut? I would say try to ride this storm, and if you can find somewhere where your passion lies, as soon as you get to that window, take that first exit. But there will be times where you might have to do things because they have to be done, especially in a country of such high unemployment as ourselves. Many people will find that they are doing things that they are highly competent in, but they hate because the bills have to be paid. After all, when you go to settle your bill, it's not going to ask you whether the money you got it from a low passion job. It's simple is money. It is simple going to pay the bills. So many people are doing this. And then the ideal situation, and it usually never happens, that somebody matches or is doing a job or an activity or they are running a business around something that they are so passionate, that they believe in, something that drives them, something that fuels them, and also they are highly competent in that. And if you were to find something that you are highly competent in and you love so much, I can tell you, you would want to do it over and over again. I've seen some very passionate football players. When everybody, and they're playing for a team that they love, when everybody goes to hang around with friends and family, they are practicing because they believe on this thing. They love football, they love the club, because they want to impress in the next game, they want to help the club win, they want to ensure that they even elevate their performance, because this is somewhere where their competence lies, and not only competence but their heart. So this is a marriage of skill and the heart. When you find such a thing, that's where magic happens. The challenge is it really never happens most of the time. So now, to answer the question that most people ask me, what then do we need to do so that we do those things that we love and that we are competent in? My answer is very simple. If you can find something that you are competent in, whilst you are still to discover your passion, to discover your love, or to stumble upon the things that you love, do it. And if you can find something that you are highly passionate about, but you don't have the competence, try to gain the competence, try to skill yourself so that eventually you become competent in those things that you love. But it might happen that something that you're highly passionate about, it's a low paying expedition, or it's a low paying job. Time you get back home, by the time you get back to those things that pay the bills, you feel reinvigorated, you feel re-energized, you feel alive, and then you can do the things where you're highly competent but you hate. So now what you are trying to do is, we are trying to go and find the energy somewhere that you will bring and expend it on something that you don't love. For the I mean, that is a short term measure, but the ideal situation is develop competencies on the areas that you are highly passionate about, because that is where magic happens. Ladies and gentlemen, that was your boy, Mr. Ledger himself, of the Ledger of an Aspiring Speaker. If you have come across this video, subscribe, like, comment, ask questions, and I'll be happy to engage with you. That was your boy signing out. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been an experience for the past 50 or 60 days or so. Thank you so much. Looking to further engage with you. Bye bye.